Alright guys, I'm going to show you kind of my rig here for the pendulum painting process. I got a couple different tripods. One is a very large scale tripod that I use for photography if I've got to get way up on top. And I'm actually shooting this from another tripod. If you don't have a tripod, you can make one by making like a little TP structure out of some 6 to 8 foot kind of pieces of wood, strap them together at the top, and you can get those anchored into the ground, you know, down at the bases by putting them out on the lawn and making sure they're kind of pushed into the soil. That'll hold it. And you're gonna have to rig some kind of a string that spans into the middle. I don't know if you can see this, but the center part right here has a string that I've got holding an old water drinking cup, not a drinking cup, but a water bottle for an old bicycle. Motor oil additive stuff, if you clean that out and put some paint into one of those and cut open the backside, you see real closely there that I have the bottom cut open halfway, and I took a little paper clip or a little clamp, just like in the video that you saw a minute ago. And this is just to get you some ideas. Now, if we're going to be using old repurposed like house paint or acrylic paint or diluted school acrylic paint, which you might have some, I just want you to see this effect. You can experiment with this and get all kinds of effects with this. Now, I've started with some blue paint. I might do another example. I already did one example of it, and it looks something like this. It's pretty straightforward. It isn't the exact same kind of response, but there are some interesting swirly effects like a big galaxy or a transparent ball or globe, which is kind of cool. All right, so this is like advanced drip paint. This is like Jackson Pollock advanced. Now the pendulum swing is the crucial point, and with my water bottle, and it can swing off of the surface, that's what I've noticed. I'm gonna let it come out just a little bit, and I'm gonna let it happen here. As soon as I pulled the little water at the bottom, this is open. There's a little paper clip on there, like the ones we get from school. And the bottom, as soon as I open it, it'll start dripping. So I'm going to experiment with where it wants to be. And here we go. See what happens. Pretty cool, huh? Now that's got a much better flow than my first event. And it's gonna follow kind of a mathematical vortice, and I don't want it to get too, I disturbed it a little bit there, a little distortion. And I don't want to get too many puddles, so I'm going to move it along in its little arc. Kind of looks like a butterfly. Now I may get to a point where I don't want much more paint than that, and I'm going to stop it. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to clean that bottle, and I'm going to try red. And that will be my next one, but I'm going to let this dry for a while. Pretty cool, kind of abstract. You can use a step ladder. You can use the pyramid technique of the 3 posts and kind of fabricate some kind of a string with a drip bottle. You can even have a jar. You can go large and do a big sheet of plywood and try it on that as well, but you'd have to be higher up in the air. If you have a garage space and you can hang a large quart of paint, that might work well, just like in the other one. But there's a lot of potential here. But the thing is, I gotta let it dry. So if I'm gonna do a red contrasting with blue, I am gonna let that kind of dry up first before I go in with it. But I might try it and see if I can get them to mix and make some weird purples in there. Blue and reds, green and blues, etc. So I'm going to try that, and then we'll get back with you in just a second.